Jesus was a rebel and didn't hold to Scripture, and the Gospels weren't written by his contemporaries. So, what you say you know through Scripture might not be true. So I'm going to have to dispel these falsehoods. First off, Jesus did not rebel against the Old Testament. In fact, the Old Testament testifies to Jesus Christ as the coming Messiah. And he referenced the Old Testament over 190 times through all the Gospels. Like, we can go back and read every single one where he alludes to alludes to the Old Testament, alludes to the books of the Old Testament. This is something that is easily found when you read the Scriptures and you read the Old Testament. Secondly, Jesus said that he did not come to change the law. He came to fulfill the law. The fulfillment of the law is through his sacrifice, him becoming the eternal high priest for us in our place, and through him, the Old Testament is fulfilled. That is what he actually was doing. He wasn't rebelling against the Old Testament. What was happening is that the Pharisees were creating oral traditions that were farther reaching than what God was trying to do through the law. Now, we can go to the Gospels, where he says the Gospels weren't written by his contemporaries. They were. So Matthew was written by the disciple Matthew. Mark was a follower of Peter, and he wrote down Peter's eyewitness testimony. Then we have Luke. Luke, if you actually read the first few verses, you see that he actually went to all the eyewitnesses and wrote down all of their testimony into that gospel. And then we have John, which was the disciple John. So yes, they actually were in fact all written and eyewitness testimonies of his contemporaries, his disciples. So yes, I actually can 100% see that the Scriptures are true. God bless.